Hey, what is up going on, guys? My name is BobLyn, aka PabLoon, and today I'm finally featuring a ship that I have not featured on this channel, I think, in at least 1.5 years. I think my third or second video on this channel was about the GK and a stupid little montage I made, and I really haven't touched on it ever since. Only if you guys have requested it in Bob Plays or on live streams, and I don't know. After playing Schlieffen for quite a bit and realizing that the tankiness that GK has, that I was missing it in Schlieffen in the current meta of today, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try play some GK and get a gameplay for you guys because I wanna see what this thing can do in 2023. How is GK in 2023? And the matchmaking we're seeing here is perfect matchmaking. There's no CV, there is no Smolensk, and that is pretty much what I want to talk about. The GK is still a very, very good ship, don't get me wrong. I am also building it full secondaries, which ideally is not very smart. You will see the build afterwards, but if you were to ask me objectively, how should I build my GK, I would say go for the sniper, role, and don't go for all secondaries, because then you could just play Schlieffen. But without, a build for main guns, these guns can still do a ton of damage, and we get a nice little opening salvo on this Minotaur. And the reason GK can feel kind of meh in this meta is because of, CVs and Smolensks. But when you get matchmaking like this, where it's a bunch of cruisers, not that many DDs, we only have a Kaba to worry about, and people are just sitting back, the GK is an amazing ship, as we take half of that Goliath's HP in just one salvo. If GK can just get to sit here in the beginning of stages of a game, just sit, relax, and just snipe away, you can have a very, very powerful upper hand at the end of the game. That's what I like about GK. It's very, very tanky, but it's also super, super easy to, just farm down. Hence why the current meta, it's very difficult to play the GK. But I did play a lot of games in this ship to get, a somewhat decent gameplay. I had some, some successes, and I had some failures, and I just wanted to talk about how I went about playing the GK in 2023, in today's meta. And it's obvious to me, and I think everyone else who plays this ship quite often, that this has become a sniping platform, whereas a couple years back this was the brawling ship that, if you wanted to go brawl, you would take this thing. You had the Bismarck that came before the FDG, and the Bismarck came before it, and these were the brawlers. Now Schlieffen is out, and this GK has become more of like a hybrid, at least in my build, because I still keep the secondary skills, very high up on my priority list. So, we're just sitting here farming away, and we do have the Old Destroyer special camo, so our secondary range is also better. And here we have Nautilus coming out, and I think he just got Yodo. And I make the mistake of angling a little bit too much, so we can't get that rear turret off, so we only get some of our guns off, but still we get full pens. And that's one thing I've noticed with GK, is you either get a half pen or a full pen. I really like the guns. They might be super inaccurate, especially when you don't have main battery mod 3 like you should. Instead, I'm running secondary build. You still have some pretty consistent guns when they do hit their target, and they do a good amount of damage when they hit. And this is something I love about GK. You hear your secondaries going off, you're like, wait, something's going on. There's a Kabarosk rushing me. Okay, let me just turn on my secondary overload and, destroy him with my other secondaries. So yeah, this Khabarovsk, mistakes were made, I guess you could say. We take our main guns, fire a full salvo, and somehow the magic of German dispersion without having dispersion mod in somehow works, and we actually get him. And now the biggest threat to me is actually dead, because the Khabarovsk could have just HE spammed me and he could have rushed us, but now he's gone, and I'm thinking, let me just help this Shimakaze in case something goes wrong. But it looks like he's got it under control. Yeah, that's a full salvo of Shimakaze torpedoes. Vermont down, now we push. And this is what I love about GK, and this is the playstyle and how you gotta go about it. In the beginning of the game, you just gotta sit back. You gotta take opportunities, some good shots, try to see if you can get some citadels, find some broadsides. Don't be afraid to shoot at a Minotaur in the smoke, as we completely missed that Minotaur because of, well, German dispersion. But then you wait for your moment. You look at, okay, what's dead? We know that the Yodo is gone. I can't remember if the Yodo died, or if at this point in the game at least. We know that the Khabarovsk is dead, and we know that the left flank is clear. Now we push, and we have them running. We have the Goliath right there, we have the Minotaur, we have the Montana. I can see every enemy on the enemy team. So this is the kind of mindset you gotta have, because if you make a push very early on in the game with a GK, for example, and I think a lot of people who have the GK or any German battleship for that matter that has secondaries, they get a little bit too overconfident, and I am also very much guilty of this. And here I could have killed this Minotaur so easily, but I actually thought he might have reversed, and I was holding my shot to see when he would shoot again, but then the Moskva just completely destroys him. So a nice blind fire from Barnett over there. But now we just have a, you know, 3 nice half HP enemy ships here, and I'm feeling very confident we can take all of them on. Now luckily I do have a team behind me, but you know, being over a half HP at this point in the game is a very, very strong thing in GK, and something you should strive towards. You shouldn't be scared to lose your HP. That's not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is conserve your HP to, you know, so you can survive to late game, because this is where the German battleships become very powerful. The Montana here is pretty much, well, he's done. He can't do anything. I'm barreling towards him with 28 knots, and my team is as well. This is the textbook GK play, I guess you could say, is hold back, fire shots, look for an opening, and when the opening arrives, you push in. If it doesn't come, you're just a barge who reverses and, you know, tries to defend for the enemy team. And there we go. We get the final salvo on the Alsace. All in all, a pretty good game, but I can tell you right now, all of my games did not look like this. GK in 2023 is a different experience than 2-3 years ago. The landscape of the game has changed, obviously, but the GK is still a super fun ship, and I definitely enjoyed playing this game. I really did. So in the end here, you'll see my build, and just, you know, so if you guys really want to copy it, all in all, there are some things you need to, you know, keep in mind, but I'll highlight it. I don't know if you noticed, but it was actually a triple Grosser Kurfürst game. We had 3 GKs on my team. But here you see the All Destroyer camo gives you secondaries. This thing gives you main battery dispersion. So if you want to go for the best build overall, you gotta go non-secondary build. But I take the full secondary, so we go with the lead bonus. We go with equipment. And for the commander, I have one mistake. I mean, it's a pretty basic commander build. I use my Franz von Hipper on Schlieffen, but I would definitely not take compartment maintenance. I would take Honor Seeker instead. And you could also opt for Citadel Strike in the last slot if you wanted to, but I went for protection instead. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name has been BobLyn, aka PabLoon, and I am signing out.